So today we are looking at the Calam-Arch Linux. So here is the boot menu. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So here is the desktop layout of a Calam-Arch Linux. So this is what you get when you turn on the desktop or welcome screen as a welcome screen. Select countries to include a mirror ranking. You can select your countries here. So let's click on cancel. I don't want to, so let's first change the display settings. Before that, let's check the task manager. We have like a system monitor and a task manager. Let's go with the task manager. So these are all the processes running right now, and the memory is almost like a 970 MB, and CPU is pretty much not stable. We need to run until like a 60 seconds to get a stable graph. So we can say disconnected, the network connection has been disconnected, maybe because of my VPN, I guess, or maybe from the distro. I properly don't know, but most of the cases my VPN disconnects sometimes. So I'm going to put in the description whether the issue was from the distro or from my VPN. I'm going to put it in my description like a note like that. So let's go back and check the information about task manager 1.5.6. So this is a Calam-Arch Linux you can find in the source forge. So right now its VPN is or the internet connection is not there. I'm going to put the video of how to download the Calam-Arch Linux in the right side corner here, like a mini player. I'm going to edit that video and put it in the right side corner, so you don't need to worry of how to download that distro or how to get it. So I'm going to put that. So let's get back to the YouTube settings, not the YouTube settings, the display settings. Let me change the display. Again, the network connection has been disconnected. Let's change the display resolution. My monitor is 1920 into 1080, so that's the reason I need to put it like that. Let me put the task manager in the right side corner. And let's open the Firefox web browser. Let's go to the internet, Firefox web browser. Let's see the internet is working properly or not. Again, disconnected. The network connection has been disconnected. Don't show this again. So most of the time I test the VPN connection, but for some reason it's showing right now as it's disconnected. So let's try it. I'm going to give the description in the description that whether the issue was from the distro or from the my VPN. So let's scroll it like this so you can properly see. So let's check the version of the Firefox. About Firefox, so you get a 121.0. so this is a Calam-Arch Linux. So this is the latest ISO file, which is from 2024 January 1st. So let's type in about support to get some of the information. So here is the information of the distro, like a Linux kernel, OS theme, all the information. So if you find useful, you can just pause the video, or you can slow down the video by going to YouTube settings and go to playback settings and change the default settings, which should be default 1.0, and change it to like a 0.25, so you can watch all the video in a slow-mo, or you can just pause the video and read everything. So this is important information. So if you don't find this as important information, you can just skip this part. So let's try now whether the internet is working or not in the Firefox. So let me type in SourceForge, or let's open something like a YouTube maybe. Yes, internet isn't working. So I will put in the description whether the issue, what's the issue. So let me close this thing. Let's open the terminal and get some of the distro information. Let's put it in the left side corner, scroll it down and scroll it down right side. So let me type in. Before that, let's change the background so you can properly see what's the command. So let's go to colors, load the preset which is black and white. So let me type in the command which is inxi-sv8. So this is the command which will grab complete distro information. So you get all the network, Bluetooth, all the information, audio, displays, all the information available in a single command. So as you can see, here is all the information. I don't want to go through all these things because it's going to take a lot of a lengthy video, but let's check some of these things like a GTK version, XFCE version, and host RSS, so kernel version, and compiler version, the desktop information, and I'm running it on a VMware, so it says as a VMware. Memory, here is the memory. I have like 8 GB of RAM. It's using 1.1 GB because XFCE uses 900 to 1.1 GB in the beginning of the when you start the Linux distro. So this is my CPU. These are all the vulnerabilities. Graphics, here is the graphics information, and after graphics you get the monitor information or the available display resolutions. So it didn't load properly still. You need to have like a audios, network, Bluetooth, all the information. It didn't load still, so let's wait. So instead of waiting for this, let's open another tab and let's try Gnome-Xfce. Hit enter. So here is the Gnome-Xfce. So let's type in another command which is inxi. Hit enter. So these are all the same command as the inxi-sv8, but you get in a short form or the short information. inxi-small b, inxi-capital G, cat:/etc/issue, inxi-capital F. So you get all this information. So let me type in hashtag. So here is the complete information. It completely showed everything now. So let's get to the top position. So we were on the audio side. So here is the audio information. Here is the network information, which is also Bluetooth information here. So I don't have a Bluetooth, so that's the reason it says no Bluetooth data found. So drives, partitions, USB, sensors, repos, these are all the repos. And at the final you get the, let's scroll it down. So you get the processors and memory top info like a GCC, systemd, all the version you get it here. So let's close this because we almost got all the information of the distro. 311 is the version for the terminal. So let's close this thing. There are still processes running in some tabs. Closing the window will kill of them. Let's try to see what it is. So here is the desktop. So let's close this. Close the window. So let's first change the desktop wallpapers. Let's see what are the wallpapers we get in the Calam-Arch-Linux. So let's make it bigger so you can properly see. So these are all the available wallpapers you get in the Calam-Arch-Linux 2024. So even older version has same wallpaper, so there is nothing changed, I guess. So let's keep this thing. This is pretty good. So on the menus you get same information. On the icons you get the same informations like a file launcher, all those things, which is pretty much same. So no need to show all those things. Under desktop features you get a volume or the audio mixer. Let's open that. You can customize according to your use. So here is the audio mixer, here is the language, here is the sensors, net, swap, memory, CPU, live user and power off button, power options, network, date and time, panel options. You can go to the properties, you can change the customization if you want. Panel, you can add the panels wherever you want. You can change the panel preferences by going to display, appearance and items. You can choose the panel, whatever panel you want. You can add the panel or you can remove the panel. Let's close this thing. Let's see what are the applications you get in the Calam-Arch-Linux. So these are all the applications you get in the Calam-Arch-Linux. It almost it's almost like a bloatware. You don't have any bloatware in this Calam-Arch-Linux. You just get the XFC desktop environment applications and some 2 or 3 applications like Firefox and so almost it's almost like a no bloatware. As you can see, there is no LibreOffice or GIMP or anything like that. You just get a simple Arch Linux or Calam-Arch-Linux, you can say it. It's not an Arch Linux, it's a Calam-Arch-Linux. So people get confused and let's open applications like a VLC media player. I'm going to open like a bunch of applications which is available in this Arch Linux or a Calam-Arch-Linux. So to see whether the distro will handle or it crashes, I'll do all this test in all the videos, like open like a 10 to 12 apps to see whether it crashes or not, or sometimes it just freezes. So I do this because most of the people will use for the use Linux distros for day-to-day tasks. So that's the reason I open all the applications and see whether it crashes or not. So let's open mail reader. So we don't have a Thunderbird or any mail reader, so that's the reason you need to choose the mail reader. So let's close that thing. Let's go to all applications. Let's open appearance. Let me open some random applications to see whether it crashes or not. Let's open software app store. Let's scroll it down. Let's open bulk rename. So you don't have a heavy resource consuming application, so that will be a problem to properly get the answer whether this will handle this Linux distro will handle all the applications or not at once. So let's open the Firefox web browser. We have like a Firefox web browser and some 2 or 3 resources consuming applications. So it will be a bit of problem here because we don't have like a GIMP and LibreOffice, Thunderbird. This is like a resource consuming applications, like Darktable, Krita and Inkscape, all those things. So we could get exact answer whether this distro will handle all those applications at once or not. So let's open gparted. So let's try to open what are the applications we get here. Let's try to see whether it will handle or not. So the applications are opening instantly, so there is no issue with while opening the applications. Yeah, it is taking a bit of time here because it's okay, we are opening all the applications at once, so that's the reason it is taking a few seconds here to open. So it shouldn't have any lag while switching the applications or choosing anything like settings, all those things. It shouldn't lag. If it lags, so that will be a problem. I'm going to say that it's a good to skip that Linux distro. So let's open like a mouse and touchpad. Let's open image viewer. On the internet, I guess we don't have anything, just Firefox web browser. Under multimedia, we already opened a VLC. Let's open Perol media player. So I'm having like a 8 GB of RAM, so it is okay. But if you have like a 2 GB of RAM, it's almost a 2 GB of RAM in the memory side, as you can see here. And CPU is almost 60-70%, and it's not so stable in the CPU. It's going to right now it's pretty stable, as you can see. In the beginning it was like almost 80%, 60%. It wasn't pretty stable even when we didn't open any of the applications. So let's see what else we left here. Let's open the leaf pad also. So everything is opening pretty fast, so I'm okay with that. Graphics, we don't have anything. On the internet, we don't have anything. Multimedia already opened. Settings, I think we pretty much opened everything. Let's open session and startup, and let's open some tweaks or the window manager. I think we are good. Let's see the task manager now. The CPU is almost touching 70%. So these are all the processes running right now. As you can see, process running are 323 and the memory is almost 2.1 GB. So there are no heavy resource consuming apps, so that's the reason it's still on 2.1 GB. In the beginning of the video it was almost like a 960 970 MB, but right now it's almost a 2.1 GB. If we had like a GIMP and some like a Inkscape, Krita, all those things, or all the applications, we would have get like almost a 3.4 GB, 3.5 GB. We could to get the memory up to that. So if you have like a 4 GB of RAM, you could run daily to day tasks without any issues, even if you open like a 4 to 5 applications in this Linux distro, because it has like a XFC desktop environment. And while choosing the installation, you can get other desktop environments. So this is the benefit in Calam-Arch-Linux. You can get all the desktop environments available in the installation, or you can just download the Arch Linux and try to install all the desktop environments on your own. It's clearly up to you whether to choose that Linux distro and again this Linux distro. So there are difference. So the Calam-Arch Linux is different and Arch Linux is different. They are not same. And Calam-Arch Linux is based on Arch Linux, and Arch Linux is purely, Arch Linux. So that's the difference between that. Don't get confused, they are not same, they're different. So these are all the process running right now, and memory is 2 GB. Let's try to switch the applications whether we see any lag or anything like that. Parallel media player, let's switch the applications like apps, Play Store or App Store. Leaf pad, rhythm box, volume control. It's not a rhythm box, it's a volume control. File manager, VLC media player, appearance. So it is taking just a millisecond of delay, but while switching the applications, everything is good. As you can see, just a millisecond, not a major difference here or a major lag, you can call it. It's just a minor milliseconds difference. So everything is going good, and it still is 2 GB of RAM. So I think if you have a 2 GB of RAM, you can still run the applications while opening like a basic. You can run it with the basic applications which has defaultly given by the Calam-Arch Linux. So if you put like a GIMP and LibreOffice, some day-to-day using applications, it could be a bit of problem even if you have like a 2 GB of RAM. So it's 2024. I'll be recommending that you should be having at least a 4 GB of RAM and a mid-end PC. It's a good option, or else you can choose any other Linux distros. In my case, I'm going to recommend it's a good option to go with the mid-end PC. If you like have 4 GB of RAM and some latest CPU will be a good option. So if you have like a totally old or a low-end PC, it's a good option. You test on your own, and if you want to let me know in the comment section, do let me know in the comment section if it's working or not. So it's always a good option. Always try to live boot and don't go with the installation. So this is the latest release, so we don't know whether it has bugs or anything, but till now I didn't get any bugs or anything like that, or any crashes or anything like that. So always while installing any type of Linux distro in your PC, always check like a 5 to 6 videos, not from my channel, check from other channels too, like a 5 to 6 different channels and different videos of that Linux distro, and then go with installation, because it's your PC. You need to be responsible for your PC. If anything happens, you're going to be suffering. So that's the reason I'm warning you. Take it as a warning or something like that. So it's a good option to go with check like a 5 to 6 videos, then go with the installation. I'm saying it again and again because I don't want you to ruin your PC. Check like 5 to 6 different types of channels videos and then go with the installation. And always try it first in a live boot, then check all the things which you want to do, all those things. And if you're satisfied, then go with the installation. So these are all the app store. Let's check all the version and close the applications. So we already saw the Firefox web browser version, so let me close that thing. So installation, let me show you that later. So here is the window manager tweaks. You get all those options you can customize on your own and up to your wish. So let's close this thing. Appearance, you get just the basic themes, you get basic icons, fonts, settings. These are all the same things, so nothing changed here. Let's switch to session and startup. Here is the mouse and touchpad. You can customize to your wish. Advaita, elementary, all those things. Let's close this thing also. Image viewer 0.13.1. So let's check the payroll media player. What version we get here is 4.18.1. Leafpad. Here is a text editor, which is a Leafpad. You get the version 0.8.19. So let's close the Leafpad also. So you should be seeing a low in resource or the RAM. Let's open the gparted. You know how to use the gparted, so let's check the version and close the application. 1.5.0. Here is a bulk rename. You know how to use the bulk rename already. So if you don't know, there are people who make videos separately of that application. You can check their videos, I don't have any problem, or you can check their tutorials how to use that bulk rename and all those things. I didn't made any video on that thing, so that's the reason I'm recommending other channels. So tuner 4.18.9. So if you want to know how to use that specific application, you can check other channels. I don't have any issue with that, or I don't have any problem with that. Session and startup, application, auto start, current session, saved session, and advanced. So let's close this thing. What else we left here is a VLC media player. Let's check the version. You get the 3.0.20. Let's close this thing also. So before installing or installation process, let's check the app store. Let's make it bigger so you can see properly. So these are all the applications. Here is the installed, and there is a bit of delay, I guess. Updates. I don't have internet connection because maybe the reason of the VPN or maybe the distro internet connection. I'm going to let you know in the description, don't worry. And here we have a lag or something like that. I can't use anything here, so let's try to see the installation. So you can switch to applications. The system is not connected to internet, so let's try the default thing. So first you need to choose your language. You already know how to do that. Under the next we get a location. You can choose the map or you can choose the drop down menu here, and here are some of the system language and the numbers and date locale. You can change or you can customize on your own. Click on next, choose your keyboard here. I'm choosing the Dell. You can choose your keyboard and keyboard language. Click on next. Partition, you need to choose your hard disk. Here are the hard disk. If you have like a multiple or triple hard disk, you need to choose the exact hard disk because it's going to erase everything which is available in that hard disk, whether it's a current operating system or anything like that. So be careful. So you need to see videos or the tutorials of other channels to how to install that specific Linux distro or the installation process. So I made all old videos, so instead of checking all the videos in my channel, it's better go check other videos of how to install the Linux distro. So here is a swap. You can choose anything you want here. Here is a manual partitioning. It's an option like a dual boot option, or it will be installed along with the current operating system. So if you have like a Windows operating system, you should be having another Arch Linux, which is Calam-Arch-Linux, alongside that operating system. If you want, you can encrypt your system by providing both the password, which should be same in the both the boxes. After the encryption of the system, here is the bootloader location. You can choose anything here, default, system partition, or do not install a bootloader. You can do that later, it's clearly up to you. Next is the packages. Here is the desktop environment. Here is the thing which I was explaining before. You get like a bunch of desktop environments here, which is from Xfce, Mat, Plasma, KDE, or the KDE Plasma, Gnome desktop environment, Cinnamon-Budgie, Deepin, i3, window manager, or open box. You can customize or you can choose whatever the desktop environment you want here. So this is a Calam-Arch Linux distro. So it's not just an Arch Linux, it's a Calam-Arch Linux. I'm saying it again and again, people get confused, so that's the reason. So after choosing your desktop environment, go with the next. Instead of Calam-Arch Linux, you have like other options like Arch based Linux distros like a Manjaro, all those other desktop Linux distros. You can choose whatever Linux distro you want, because it's your PC. You can depend or you can decide whatever you want here. So there is no forcing or anything like that. You can choose any Linux distro, because there are plenty of Linux distros available. So here is the package selection. You can just click on the packages. You get a bunch of sub what you call it, I don't know, sub menu. You get like that. So instead of going through all those things, let's click on next, because it's going to make a video lengthy. So it's already like a 30 minutes video. If we choose see all those things, it's going to make almost like a 2 or 3 hours video. So let me quickly show you, because some viewers will get disturbed for not showing this. So let's try to click in a run through or a fast way. So these are all the package selections you get in all the desktop environments. If you choose deepin, you get all those things. If you see i3, so most of the developers say, not most of the, some developers say don't use that deepin Linux distro. Even I don't recommend to. So it's clearly up to you. If you want to choose this, it's clearly up to you. I don't have an issue. So do let me know if you choose deepin Linux distro, it's working properly. Then let me know in the comment section. So here is the username and password, and you get a summary of whatever you choose. Let me do that in a fast way. So let's type in your full name. You don't need to put your actual name, you can provide anything you want. So you need to remember that what you are putting in here. So let's see, unboxing. What is the name of the computer? Let's keep it like that. Choose the password. Let's give it a simple password. Login automatically without asking for the password. If you want to use the same password, you can use it, or you can choose a different password for the administrator account. For the sake of the video, I'm choosing the simple password, which is 125, and I'm using use the same password. Don't do this mistake. You need to provide a strong password, and you need to choose the same password or a different thing for the administrator account. So click on next. Here is all the summary of whatever you choose in the previous steps of installation. I choose the language, location, Los Angeles, all those things. So here is my summary. After clicking on install, it's going to install in a 5 to 10 minutes, depends on your PC or depends on the ISO file. If the ISO file is stable, you should be very quick, and if it's not, it's going to take a more or less time there. And if you have a high-end PC, it should be very quick, or a low-end PC, it will be a bit of time consuming there. So it completely depends on the PC and ISO file. It should be more or less 5-10 minutes. So that's the installation process. And so that's all the changes, or those are all the features which I showed in the Calam-Arch Linux. So at the end of the video, the processors are here 257, and CPU is going around like a 30%, and memory is almost a 1.5 GB. So that was the video of a Calam-Arch Linux. So there is also a new release in Arch Linux. They mentioned like a 2024 version. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out in their official website. So this again saying, I'm saying again, this is not an Arch Linux, it's a Calam-Arch Linux. It's based on a Arch Linux, so remember that thing. So I think this is not closing. You can go and remove it from task manager, so I don't want to. Let me shut it down here. So let's check the logout screen and end the video. So I already posted another video today in the morning, so if you want to check that out, you can check that out. So another video is this one, which is Calam-Arch Linux. I will be posting like a 2 videos daily without missing any day. So if you want to consider subscribe, you can subscribe. If you don't want, you can just watch the video and check other channels. I don't have any issues with that. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up button, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.